Thank you for joining us at the Pattie Sadler Show. Welcome back. I'd like to introduce to you today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Cyndy McDonald. She's been involved in education for over 25 years. She is a credentialed counselor with a master's degree in education. She has experience as a counselor at the high school and middle school levels. She helped to start a college outreach program for first-generation underrepresented students. She has, well, the list goes on and on. This lady is amazing, and she's one of the original founders of Higher Education Consultants Association, a national organization for private college consultants. Please welcome today Cyndy McDonald. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Patty. It's such a pleasure.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have her here. This lady is remarkable. First of all, she is the president of McDonald Associates, and also, let's see, it was Guided Path, right? .com is the internet business. Can you tell us a little bit about how McDonald Associates got started? And
Sure. I'd really love to share a little bit because it all fits together. And one of my, I have a strong passion, as you can tell, for education because I've been involved in this for 25 years. I started off when I'm a first-generation college student. So years ago when I started going to college, I needed to have some help. And I started off at the University of Colorado Boulder and went there for a while and then ran out of financial aid. And that was a big problem for me because my parents didn't have money to send me to college, and I was faced with, I'm going to have to drop out of college, go back to work. How am I going to do this? And so I had a friend who said, well, gee, why don't you just come check out the college where I'm at? Never mind that it costs 3 times as much as the public school where I was going. And well, what do I have to lose? Nobody had ever told me or taught me about financial aid. And so I went to this college to visit. It was William Woods University in Fulton, Missouri. It was 600 miles from where I was going. And they said, sure, we'd love to have you come to college. And here you go. Here's the financial aid to do it. I was floored. I had no idea. And I was able to go. I didn't have to drop out of college. I was able to go to college and start my education. I didn't have to drop out of college. And so William Woods started this legacy of making a difference in lives of students, not only my life, but it also recently, last weekend, I just came back from my niece's graduation from William Woods, and she was able to go to school there. So from there I learned that there's something that goes into financial aid. And later on I became a consultant in helping families, especially here in the Central Valley, with so many agricultural families that we have. And so I started McDonald Associates, which is a private college counseling practice, and work with families to help them understand how they can do the same thing I did, is go to college, and how financial aid works and how they can afford to go to colleges that they really don't think they can afford to go to. And those colleges often want those students and will give them money to go there. So that's what I do, and that's how I came to do what I do with college counseling.
that's amazing. So basically you have created a mastery of the special funding for school and stuff like that. So do you think it happens really often that kids aren't able to go to school because of lack of money?
A lot of times they think, because we look at it from a consumer perspective, how much am I going to pay for college? How much do I pay for, my house payment, things like that. And so they think college funding works the same way, but it doesn't. So a lot of times they'll make choices to not go to college or not go to the college they want because they think they can't afford it. So what we do is help them understand what their options are, how colleges are going to look at their financial situation and see how can I afford to go to college, which colleges are going to offer the major that I offer, that I want, all those different things. There are things like, Patty, like there's the Western Undergraduate Education Exchange Program. It's a consortium of colleges, not only in California, but all through the Western U.S.
Wow.
So Oregon, Washington, Colorado, where they can go to college and not be counted as an out-of-state student, so it costs 1 and 1/2 times tuition, so they can spend less by going out of state.
See, people, we don't know these things. These are not little secrets that they tell us because I think pretty much they want the money. So also, could you say that maybe because of our misunderstanding of the programs that are available, we might find ourselves, or students might find themselves in big financial debt because they didn't seek out counseling for their schooling?
Absolutely. There's lots of media reports about the average student debt and how it is just becoming monumental. And it's so easy for students, and the colleges will say, oh, you can just borrow this amount of money. New York University next year is going to cost $72,000 per year to go to. I mean, that's more
a
than
house, that's a mortgage.
Yeah. Oh, it's more than
That's
most
a car
people
almost.
in this. Oh, it's
Fancy car,
a very
fancy car.
nice luxurious
Yes.
car, and that's just for 1 year.
Yeah.
So multiply that by 4.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
trying to avoid, and that's where we want to help. There are so many colleges out there. There are colleges that'll give students $30,000-$40,000 a year. In financial or merit, grants and scholarships that they don't have
Wow.
to pay back. So that's what we do, is help them.
So you have
find
access
those.
to all this stuff, and you can help them to find these programs and counsel them to plan their financial future. Well, that's just really amazing. So tell me, where was it again? It was William Woods
Woods University.
That was your alma mater? Okay,
In
so
Fulton, Missouri.
tell me more about your story.
It was going to college. As I said, I was the first one in my family, and there was no one to help me to be able to know how to do all this. In fact, when I graduated from high school early, I was a senior and didn't finish my senior year. I went off to college, the University of Colorado Boulder.
She's smarty pants.
Well, I was ready to go. I was ready to go to that next step, believe me. And what happened was my counselor, I had to turn my application into my counselor, and he never turned it in. But I didn't know he didn't turn it in. So I got to the University of Colorado, and I had a roommate, and I went to go register for my classes, and they looked at me and they said, "Who are you? Why are you here?" And there was no way I was going to go back to my high school and say, "Oh, just kidding, I'm not really going to college. Here I am, I'm back." It just was not happening. So I said, "Well, what do you mean you don't know who I am?" "Well, we don't have your application. We don't know who you are." Well, how I got a room without being admitted to school, I will never know. So they asked them, "Well, what do I need to do to make sure I can stay here? Because I'm not going back." They said, "Oh, you need to go talk to the president of the University of Colorado Boulder." Ooh. So at 17, I walked up the steps to the president of the United States, of the University of Colorado Boulder, and I petitioned to have him keep me at the university.
Wow.
So
Talk about self-advocating. Oh, my goodness.
Fortunately, he said yes, and I was able to stay.
Oh, my goodness. And look at the legacy you've created because of that experience. That's just so great. Well, we want to hear more about Cyndy's businesses and some of the things that she's doing to assist people. And so join us right after the break. Welcome back to the Pattie Sadler Show. Again, we have Cyndy McDonald with us today. She helped to start a college outreach program for first-generation underrepresented students at the middle school level. And for over 13 years, she worked with the AVID program, AVID, in Central California as a trainer of counselors and teachers on college preparation for 6 counties. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'd be glad to, Pattie. Again, as a first-generation student, I understood all those different issues that come up. And so I went back to school myself, got a master's degree and a credential so that I could be a counselor here in California. And I was able to work both at the high school and the middle school level, and became introduced to AVID. And what AVID stands for is Advancement via Individual Determination. And there is a website that you can go to that offers information about AVID. And what it is it's a program for first-generation students within the schools. And so we helped to start an AVID program at our middle school in Lindsay, California, at the Steve Garvey Middle School, so that we could help those students that are at our school be ready, because you have to start getting ready for college before you get to be a senior.
Yes.
You have to know what you're doing, you have to learn, take the right classes, those kinds of things. So we wanted to bring that into the middle school. We had it at the high school, and we brought it to the middle school. And it was something that was a lot, some people like the idea, some people don't. So we were able to successfully talk to parents and the school board and everything, and brought it into the middle school. And then from there, I went to work for Central Valley Avid through Fresno County Office of Education, and helped train and teach teachers, administrators, counselors how to work in their AVID program and make it a better program. So our Central Valley AVID covered 6 different county areas, and I visited schools all throughout Tulare and Kings County. So that's what AVID's all about, Patty.
That's so exciting. And so, I think it's really imperative. It's really actually important to start our kids at middle school thinking about where they're headed. And for parents to be able to plan is huge, because it is a money factor to go to school anymore. And so I think it's really a great idea to start them at middle school. That's pretty neat.
It is, definitely makes a big difference.
Yes. Well, that's pretty cool. So also, she is the original founder of Higher Education Consultants Association, and that is...
Higher Education Consultants Association, or we like to call it HECA, is a nonprofit professional organization. So the members are people who do private college counseling. So just as I do private college counseling through McDonald Associates, these are people throughout not only just the country, but throughout the world. So living in Central California is great, because you're in the middle of everything. So I thought as I started working with families, okay, there got to be other people doing this. I can't be the only one that's trying to help families and help them with their financial aid and things like that. So I started looking around, and I found, okay, there are people in San Francisco doing this, there are people in LA doing this, but how do we get together and help each other? And there was no organization that provided professional development opportunities for people who were doing college counseling for families. And so that's why we started HECA, and we started as a national organization. It was over 17 years ago. Now it has over 1,000 members worldwide. We have national conferences. I'm getting ready to go to our next national conference in Cincinnati, Ohio in June. And they actually start a scholarship in my name. So it's a professional development scholarship, and I feel very honored, because usually when you have scholarships in your name, you've passed away. So I'm one of the people who have a scholarship in my name, and I'm still living.
And you're still living.
That's a nice thing.
What an honorable mention. I mean, she actually has a funding program, a scholarship in her name. Mm-hmm. Well, that's really interesting. And, okay, so we have a celebrity here. Cyndy McDonald, she has presented on financial aid and college counseling topics at the local, state, national, regional, worldwide levels then. And she is serving people from all over the world. What are some of the other countries that are involved in this, as far as the counseling and stuff?
Through HECA, and then also through another aspect that I've developed is my internet company. And through the internet company, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, I have counselors that are in Venezuela, in China, in India, in Brazil, Peru, Greece, Turkey, all over the world. So people are serving families, and more worldwide students are wanting to come to the United States to study. And just recently I was invited, I just came back actually from visiting a university in Glasgow, Scotland. Wow. And now we're looking at, okay, not only can our students go to the United States and go outside of California, but what about going abroad? What about studying in Glasgow or in Edinburgh or London or Oxford? Oh, so it was very exciting, and I could talk about all the differences between U.S. and especially UK education system.
Wow, that's amazing. That is so exciting. And just think of all the prospects and the opportunities worldwide for students to get an education, and in places that they may not have ever imagined. And it could be just a real dream come true to some of us, or to some of these students. So each year, Cyndy is the presenter at a college night. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about that?
College night, we have them here in the Central Valley. We have one here in Fresno every fall. They're always in the fall. And then there's one in Visalia as well. And I've been on the committee for college night for many, many years, and we have different presenters come in. We have over 100 colleges that come and have tables so that students and families can come and learn about higher education. And there's usually about 3,000 to 4,000 people that come to this college night. So we'll present on financial aid or how to write your college application. I talk about the top 5 tips for how to save money for going to college, things like going in the military or looking for colleges. Maybe you want to go in and do a sports scholarship. Different things that you can do that can help make the cost of college go less. But the college nights is a really great opportunity because it opens opportunities and opens people to go talk to college they've never heard of or realize that, oh, maybe I can look at this school. University of Northern Arizona University, for example, or, you know, Beloit College or Azusa Pacific. Those are all there at college night. And they have it here, they have it in Fresno, at the Convention Center, Visalia, Bakersfield. There's another big one in Bakersfield.
You know, I bet you anything my dad wishes he would have had these services when I was young because it would have saved us a bundle and it would have made things a lot better for us, but financially. But I think that for us to have the opportunity, well, for you to have the opportunity to be on a platform and share your experience and assist other people to get that degree, get that education that they've always dreamed of having, and enrich others' lives by their opportunities that you're providing for them and showing them how, I think it's just a major inspiration to all of us. And I applaud you because I think it's so amazing what you're doing, and what an honor to have a scholarship in your name and all the people you're affecting in the worldwide. She also is, she's the founder of an internet company, My College Consultant Assistant, is that right?
We started off with My College Consultant Assistant.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. All right. Again, I like to start things. Being in Central California is just such a benefit because you look around and see what else is around. And as we started working with families, I wanted to help manage this process. Going to college takes an application. You have a lot of things you have to do. And I was managing it through paper and Post-it notes. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. So I looked all around and said, okay, is there a company that I can purchase, or a program I can purchase that I can manage this? We looked around, there was just nothing. There was just absolutely nothing. So fortunately, I'm married to a database programmer.
Oh, that sounds
helpful. Yeah. And so I said, honey, I need a program. Can you write me a database that can help me do this? And we realized that if I needed it, other people out there needed it. So that's how my CCA got started. This was in 2005. I left Avid to found my CCA. And we started an internet company to help build a tool that could help manage and help you find the right colleges and look at the financials. So we did that, and then upgraded it and refounded a new company, Guided Path, in 2012. The Guided Path is actually located in Boulder, Colorado, and we've taken Guided Path now is being used by schools, nonprofit groups, and I'd love to tell you about a couple of nonprofit groups and a couple of students that I've worked with and how that's impacted their lives.
Okay, why don't you tell us about some of those?
Okay.
If you'd like to.
Sure. Going back to the difference you can make in terms of education, I think about one of my past students, and his family is from Pakistan. So his parents don't even know the education system here in the United States, let alone the college. And he was just an outstanding student, and I worked with him, and he was able to apply to all these schools, and he was accepted, for example, at the University of Washington, Seattle, but they didn't give his family any kind of financial aid. They said, here, you parents, you can take out, a $32,000 parent loan. Well, that wasn't feasible But the University of California, Santa Barbara said, here, you can come here and we're going to give you all this money. So he's now going to be a junior next year. He's going to be the first in his family to go to college, the first not only in the U.S., I mean, not only in his family, but the first in the U.S. to go to college. And now he's set the example. Now his sister is going to be going in the next year, 2 years.
And probably in his community, he's like a superstar because they're all so proud of him and coming to America and going to school. That's amazing.
But it's so scary for them because they don't know. They don't know what the system is and what it all means, so they'll call us. And so just like that one student, through working with other programs, there are other programs that are using our internet system. We have a program up in Oakland that works with African American males and African American students, and they use sports to help gain them because the girls are outpacing the boys going to college. I don't know if you know about this, but right now a lot of colleges have more girls than boys. So we're trying to help encourage more boys to go to school. So this program up in Oakland is encouraging the boys through sports to get connected. And it's interesting because many of them apply and get accepted here at Fresno State from Oakland. And yet this program is using Guided Path to help the students get into college successfully and know what they need to do and make that step in their lives.
Go Fresno State. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. And so it's called Guided Path?
GuidedPath.net.
And it's on guidedpath.net, and they can just find it there. And how does somebody actually get involved in your programs? Is it through this internet website, or do they call you directly?
No, they can all go to the website itself. We're very excited because we're going to be launching a new product through guidedpath.net. Right now, it's for counselors and advisors to use. So you can set it up as a family member yourself, but and you put your children in. But this summer we're going to launch GuidedPath.net Edge, and it'll be specifically for you as a parent or a student that you can just go in and it's a subscription base. So for pay $99 or certain price, and you get access to the program, and you're able to use it to help guide you through the
whole college process, so that you can get your finances in order, get through the
application, do a search on the colleges. We've got things like the FIS College Guide included. We've got videos about colleges in there, maps, that you can use.
So it's a real resource. So you can really go to guidedpath.net, and you can get a lot of resources there from Cyndy McDonald. And, I just want to thank you so much for being on the show today. You're a great asset and great inspiration to our community. You've made a big difference in many people's lives. Worldwide, she's making a difference. And I just want to thank you again for being on the show.
Oh, thank you very much.
And you have a great day.
Thank you, Patty.
So much. Join us after the break back here at the Pattie Sadler Show.